Hello everybody, welcome to a new year and the continuation of another daily gaming news and gaming deals, all that good stuff to start this year. When this video come out, probably later today, I will do like a channel update for January to see how things are going and what I'm planning to do in the channel. But this is a daily gaming news episode, so let's get started. There's been some leaks here regarding 4070 Ti benchmarks already. I'll push here first because basically NVIDIA kind of confirms the specs, which is basically the unlaunched 4080 12 gigabytes. Although they have to do their marketing per se, they claiming that it's 3.5 faster than the RTX 3080. Of course, with RTX overdrive, which is basically the fake frame rates, which is the same graph that that showed when they did the presentation, when they launched all the free graphics cards. I'm not sure. No, I don't think. No, it's not here. But basically, they claim the performance, the 4070 Ti here, which is on green, and the 3080 12 gigabytes on this one, which is basically with RT and DLSS, which is written here. It's a small text here, and it's on 1440p resolution, so it's not even in 4K. And basically it's with DLSS enabled, and the 40 series has DLSS 3, which basically generates fake frame rates for all intents and purposes to give the impression that you have a smoother and more frame rates, smoother experience and more frame rates, which is not in terms of, for me, I think the DLSS can be applicable into certain specific scenarios, but when you reach to a point of you're having GPUs that deliver what I can call a playable frame rate experience on 4K. For example, the 4090, it's an excellent product, except for the price. They can deliver in most games at least around 90 FPS in almost every game or more in rasterization. RTX is a different thing. It's a very heavy thing for even at this level for the GPUs to deal with. At the moment, I think for 40K playability, around minimum 60 FPS rasterized, I think it's an excellent performance. With RTX, I think 4040p should be the sweet spot. At least from all the things that I've been seeing regarding GPUs and how they perform regarding new titles, because if you think about it, new games will start to come out, especially with a lot of them with Unreal Engine 5, and it's an heavy engine. It's a very good engine, very high fidelity engine, but it's very heavy. You already see some issues, for example, with Callisto Protocol. It's still on Unreal Engine 4, but it's basically maxed out that engine in terms of fidelity, effects, and everything. And even the 4090 can struggle a little bit if you, for example, turn RTX on. You basically only have at the moment playable high performance experience per se. If you turn on DLSS, and more specifically DLSS 3, which basically gives you fake frame rates, so it guesses what the frame rate should be between the one that it's processing and the next one that should be processed, and usually this presents lag on the overall system because they are delaying to a certain point what appears on the screen to guess which frame should be put between the frames that the GPU should be processing. So it's sometimes it's you can notice, but for example, maybe I don't know, a Witcher 3, like a lone parole RPG where you don't have like the need to have input lag, especially if you are sensitive. The input lag doesn't overall ruins the experience of the game. It can be okay, but the problem is this 4070 Ti. It's supposedly it's on the same level, I don't know, that 3090, sorry, and almost on the peak of the 7900 XT from AMD. But yeah, the specs are basically the same. Nothing changed. Supposedly the price will be way lower, way lower, a little lower than the supposedly 4080 12 gigs that was on launch, which I think was around $900 or so, something like that. I think it's going to be cheaper, and for that I have this article that has. I was talking about performance-wise. This is synthetic benchmark, so take it with a grain of salt because this doesn't correlate to gameplay, games experiences, but it's a good indication. Usually from between series of graphics cards, so you have kind of a rough idea how they are going maybe to perform regarding gaming wise. I tell because take it with a grain of salt because you can see the 79 XTX and XT are almost at the same level, for example the 4080, and when it but they deal blows with gaming, but here they are a little bit lower, sometimes around almost 20% less than this in the synthetic benchmarks, but then they can rise a little bit more in others ones. So it's always taking a grain of salt. It's good to see between the for example the series 7000 series, 6000 series, in case of AMD, or the 40 series and the 30 series from NVIDIA, so you have like a comparable notion of how they will maybe perform. This is like synthetic benchmarks, but I don't care too much about it. But they are saying that reportedly it's going to launch at $800, which is basically $100 cheaper than the XT, 79 XT from AMD. And it should be almost comparable to a performance-wise, at least in the synthetic benchmark, sorry, for a 3090 here. Should be around the same performance, supposedly, and people are saying, oh, but it's way cheaper than the 3090. The MSRP of a 3090, it's from 2 years ago, basically. So don't listen to this kind of this crap, because it's all the 30 series GPUs prices are completely inflated, mainly because NVIDIA is basically manipulating the market in their favor by reducing supply, so then people want to buy more, and then the price inflates, and then you have 4090 for $1,600 MSRP, and usually sometimes you can only get it by $2,000 or something like that. The same happens in the 3090 Ti. I saw some places like $1,500 at least. Sometimes some of the variants are like basically almost $2,000. It's completely insane. So I think, for example, a 3090 Ti maybe should be around I don't know, $800-900. It's very, very expensive for a GPU. It's very expensive for a GPU with two years. The same can be said to a certain point to the AMD ones. At least in my market, they are way more expensive than the counterparts of the GeForce. So you can have an idea. For example, I can get a 3070 Ti for around, in my currency, 2,400 AEDs, which is Arab Emirates dirhams. And if I want to get like the counterpart or a little bit better around, for example, the 6080 Ti, it's like 4,500, give or take, or more. In some places it's more. It's like almost double the price. Double no, but 75% more for nothing, basically. The 38 I can get it for the 12 gigabyte. It's out of stock here also in this region, but for a 38 Ti I can get it. Let me see my notes. Where is it? The GPU stuff. The 38 Ti can get it for almost 3,700 here on Dubai, but the counterpart here is almost 5,000, which is it should be around 4,000 and something, almost 5,000, depends on the stores. So you can get how the disparity here is. But yeah, I hope really that this GPU is good, as it handles good on games, especially in at least 1440p, and has like a kind of rasterization performance around 60 frames per second in 4K in most games. I think it could be a good performance like plateau there. For 800, I don't know, because this is not going to be 800. It's going to be like around $1,000 for sure. We will see how it goes. I will try to keep it up with all it is. I'm going to also keep up with the CES stuff that's coming out in like 2 days. It will start on NVIDIA is going to be on 3rd of January to see how it compares itself, to have an idea of their official numbers, what they say that the GPU performance does. But this is like leaked benchmark results. But yeah, basically this is it. I'm a little pissed off because the GPU market is way too expensive. It's too expensive. The cards don't perform what these guys tell you that they are performing. They are to a certain point fooling people with the DLSS marketing stuff, which is basically fake frame rates. You think you're playing 4K, but you basically are not playing 4K. You're just playing upscale 1440p best when we have in the best outcome possible, or else sometimes if you put the DLSS performance, you're just upscaling from 1080p, so might as well worth playing in 1080p with the full graphics card on, and sometimes maybe with RTX on, depends on the graphic card. So for now, at the time, the sweet spot for me is 4K 60 FPS minimum with high to maximum quality, and or 1440p around 120, 144 with high max settings, give or take. I think it's the best way to go about it. But I will try to keep up and let you know what is my opinion regarding the outcome of this GPU, and let's see how it goes for AMD. They should be doing some announcements, but they are more focused now on CPUs because of laptop stuff, so we'll see. Now, I don't have gaming deals for today. For those, I refer to you for the previous videos that I've been doing. There is like almost at least 40 games that I pointed out for the Steam sale, and other platforms that are doing some sales. I'm going to put out some, this first 3 months of the year, which are the games that I'm most curious or want to play, or if I had the PC for it, which is, we'll start with this Dead Space remake. I've been seeing some videos. I saw some developer vlogs, or whatever they are called, regarding how they're going about the game, and visually it's a complete overall. It looks amazing, and the gameplay and some story bits and beats seems in the same vision of the original game. The main difference that people might notice is Isaac Clarke talks in this one, in this remake, because in the first game he didn't talk. He only talked starting the second one. And this one, it's the same voice actor that did the voice for Isaac Clarke on the other games, and it's going to be a little bit more interaction, but I don't think, from what they told, that he's going to initiate conversation. I think it's more about replying and get a reaction of things that are happening. And there is going to be supposedly no loading screens. you can transverse the Ishimura from one point to another through the railway system by 0G gravity, which is also modified here to present better gameplay and more easy of use. We will see. I'm very curious, and I hopeful that this is going to be at least at the same level when the original came out in 2008, if not mistaken. Another game that is going to come relatively soon, it's Atomic Heart, has that Bioshock vibe to it. It seems good. I saw also some devlogs from they launched regarding, and some interviews, what they are trying to do with the game. It seems very good. It's kind of open areas with a lot of bunkers, because this is like a lab with a lot of experimenting they were doing at the time in this alternative setting. The only thing that I don't like, of course, is a lot of editions. Maximum for me too. It's like you can make the base edition and then the all edition. But that's why it's the only thing that I so far I don't like about this game. The rest seems very interesting. How you're going to deal about it with the robots and the mechanics of gameplays. I'm very interested in this one also. Other game that's coming out piqued my interest, Scars Above. People are comparing it a little bit with Returnal, but I think this is more exploration-wise, not much about shooting all the way through. It seems to have some kind of puzzle gameplay to it. Left me curious. Not a fan of the gameplay that I saw regarding combat-wise, the role and everything. The animations didn't seem to like nothing out of special, but we'll see. As you can see here, the role animations and everything seems a little bit janky. I don't know. I hope it's a good game. Let's see how it goes. I will, of course, be doing a cover when this come out with the reviews and everything. And the last one here, it's going to be Redemption Reapers. The gameplay of this game is a little bit similar to Wasteland 3. It's an isometric turn-based RPG. It's set in a dark fantasy with a supposedly original story. I always like this kind of settings. We will see. This is basically you are a band of mercenaries that's going about, and then the dark entities or whatever, it starts invading the land, and they are basically going about it in contracts, cleaning up those dark entities. It can be orcs or whatever it is. I'm not sure what it is, but it's like a broad stroke history of what's supposed to be the setting. But yeah, these 4 games at least until March. Tomorrow will try to cover more. There are upcoming that pique my interest and are on my wish list. All these games are in my wish list because I want to follow on them when they come out, if I cannot manage to play them, and give you more detailed information when it comes out. And basically that's it, guys. I think I ramble a little bit there on the GPU stuff. It's a point that usually strikes a nerve on me. PC hardware, when it's out of when it's they do shenanigans I don't like. That's it. But yeah, I'm going to wrap up with my usual thing, with the Go Get Funding for me to get to upgrade my PC to get more and better content for my private clients. Maybe start doing some video stuff and improve my image work that I'm doing for them. And of course, on my free spare time, I can continue to do the things that I've been doing here with the daily gaming news, and also resume my gameplay videos. And I hope you have started off an awesome year. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.